Hi there. I'm sat in the garden enjoying the lovely, lovely sunshine. I've just sent back the typeset proofs of my novel, The Midlife Trials of Annabeth Hope. And I'm actually feeling a little bit twitched about it. I love the fact that it's being published, and I love working with a publisher. They are really, really professional. And I love the cover and the typeset and all of that. That's not a problem. It's just that the publishing date is getting closer now. It's going to be the end of October. And I get a little bit stressed because I kind of think, what if nobody likes it? Which is all down to the little gremlin sitting on my shoulder telling me I'm rubbish. So I need to ignore it. And the one thing that really calms me down when I get into these sorts of states, actually, is sketching. So that's what I'm going to do. And I thought what I would do is I'll do a pencil sketch, and I'll show you how to take a basic initial pencil sketch from the initial draft, which is, not so good, to the finished piece, this one here. And I hope you enjoy it. Free drawing is when you're just trying to connect yourself with your art and the paper. And it's about giving yourself permission to actually make marks on the paper. And that it doesn't matter actually what the finished piece looks like. Now, you might have an idea within your head what you'd like to be drawing, but really the idea with free drawing is to just allow yourself and your pencil to connect. And the idea is to keep the pencil moving. You're not supposed to be worrying about stopping and starting and rubbing things out. You just keep the pencil moving, and you can go back over areas if you're not quite sure where to go and build up from there. It doesn't matter about proportions or perspectives because they can all be created later. It's about getting your brain into a creative mindset. There's a very similar thing that you can do with free writing, actually. You start writing and it doesn't matter what you put on the paper, you just keep your pen moving. And it could be the same sentence over and over again, but the important thing is actually that you keep your brain connected to your pencil and focusing on your pencil and it moving and it creating and it making marks. Now this here is just going to be a very rough draft, I think, of a painting that I'd like to be doing. A little boy digging in the sand, but I haven't quite worked out my perspectives. But at this stage, it doesn't matter. This will be the very, very, very early draft of what will ultimately be a finished picture. But there's no pressure on it, no pressure to keep going, no pressure to actually create anything particularly spectacular. The idea will be a little boy with a spade, maybe here. Haven't quite worked out on that one yet. I'm just doing it based on a memory of a day down at the beach. I'm not talking about any form of precision. It's just a little bit of early planning, I guess, on your piece of art. So I'm going to have my little boy here. Maybe have he's going to be in shorts. I'm going to bring them around here. His little legs are going to go down like this to the sand. And you can absolutely see that I haven't got my proportions right here, but I can work on them later. Go back into an area, change it, add to it. I'm going to have the spade coming down here as well. There we go. Another leg there maybe. And then there'll be lots of sand where he's digging. So obviously I do need to work on this one, but actually you can very much see the beginning of what I could ultimately end up painting there. And this whole process of free drawing is more about making an association and helping to put your brain into that creative zone from which you can then obviously build and create your next piece of art.
It's a good idea to take a little break away from a piece of work when you've done it. Maybe go away, have a cup of tea, and then come back and have a look at it again, and then you can analyse it with a clear head. And I'm looking at this again now. As I was sketching it, I quite enjoyed sketching it, but I wasn't convinced that it was actually a very good sketch. But actually I have captured the main things that I wanted to include. I wanted the little boy to be very, very much engaged in looking at what he was digging. And he's obviously, his body posture, he's sort of bent over, and you can see the energy that's going into it and the enthusiasm, which is great fun. I think perhaps this arm needs a little bit of work. I haven't got that perspective right. So the next draft that I draw, I'm going to be working specifically on that. And I may change the angle of the body again. This leg also here, I think, is a little bit lost behind here. So I need to get that proportion right. So maybe I might twist the way he's standing a little bit. But ultimately, actually, it's not a bad first attempt. There's quite a neat trick when you're wanting to preserve some of this drawing, but actually alter it to try and improve it. And you could actually just pop a sheet of tracing paper over the top and have a little experiment as to where and how you might change it. For example, like I might actually bring this shoulder over here a bit more, possibly. I think that might be where the issue is with this arm. And then bring the sleeve here. And then I would need to obviously bring the shoulder down and around. So you can immediately see a change in the drawing that way. It may not be that that's the right thing to do. You may end up doing this several times to work out where it is that you actually, where and how it is you want to change your sketch in order to improve it. But you can also at the same time obviously preserve sections that you think work really well, because I quite like the hat here and the way the little chin pokes out underneath. So you can, as I say, you can pick and choose the bits that you want to keep and transfer them onto a clean sheet, and then have another go. I've been through this whole drafting process several times actually now. So that was my original free drawing piece, but ultimately I've ended up with this. And you can still see the original idea there coming through in this piece. The little lad bending over with his lovely hat here and his little chin underneath. I've altered the perspective, the positioning of the body very, very slightly to draw this leg out so that it wasn't hidden behind the spade. And then over here we've got the elbow pointing out, and it's more in proportion than the original was. But it's taken me 4 or 5 goes at this to get it right. And obviously now I've been looking at the light, how the light is hitting, and putting the shadows in from this side. So we've got a sketch that I think will work moving forward into a painting.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm certainly feeling a lot calmer now, so I'm going to go inside and make myself a cup of tea. Maybe I'll see you next time.